So this morning it was announced on the NHL's website that Matt Dumba has signed a 5-year, $30 million extension with the Minnesota Wild. Dumba's going into his prime. I don't think he's hit it yet, and he's already scoring at a relatively decent rate. Now, depending on who you ask, higher scoring defensemen may be worth more, or higher scoring defensemen may provide you misleading stats. But either way, Matt Dumba's going to be a member of the Wild for 5 more years, and it just leaves Zucker. And it's funny because they were supposed to have an arbitration hearing on Monday. And it's a smart move not to have an arbitration hearing if you can avoid it. Jacob Trouba had an arbitration hearing with the Jets on the 20th. Very interested to hear what happens with that one because that's going to be an interesting one. We know that arbitration hearings can get kind of ugly. That sometimes teams say things they can't take back, or players say things they can't take back, and sometimes one side or the other will hold hard feelings, which is why Minnesota sat down with Dumba and said, all right, let's get this done. What would you like? And they gave him what he wanted, is my guess, or they met in the middle, which is possible as well. He may have wanted 7 or 8 years, and they might have said, here's 5 at the cap hit that you wanted. That's how negotiations are supposed to work. It seems like players almost always win these arguments now between players and GMs when it comes to how much money they're going to get paid. But again, it's all about market value, and it's about whether or not a GM is willing to stick his neck out and play hardball with a player. And in the case of the Minnesota Wild, they're coming off of another first-round loss, and they need a guy like a Matt Dumba. They can't afford to have him out of the lineup. So good move on their part, and good move on their part as well, avoiding the arbitration process, which would make it potentially ugly. Always has that potential. And that's why you're seeing RFAs getting signed this week. And I think it's fair market value. I don't think that they overpaid for Dumba. I honestly think Minnesota's in pretty good shape. I think that the obvious albatross contracts of Parise and Suter being the exception. And I get asked a lot by fans of the Wild, well, can't we just, won't somebody take the Parise contract? And the answer is no. I really think if anybody was willing to take the Parise contract, I think it would have got traded a while ago. I really think it would have happened. And I think Parise would allow it to happen. I don't think he'd exercise any clauses in that contract to try to stay in Minnesota if he felt that his departure would make the team better. He doesn't seem like that guy who's going to be like, no, I signed a contract, I'm staying here. He just doesn't seem like that guy. Anyways, I'd be interested to know what you guys think. $6 million a year for Dumba as I stand out in the Wild. Yeah, that's why I'm out here. That's why I'm out here, because, it's the Minnesota Wild, so I figured, there's some trees around here. I'm going to go ahead and go off and stand in them. Anyways, I don't know why I don't think outside the box at home. I really don't. I live in an absolutely beautiful city, and I never take videos in it. And I've realized my mistake with that, and that's going to change when I get home. But, it's a good contract for Dumba. It's a good contract for Minnesota. Now they just got to sign Zucker. They have $5.6 million left under the cap to do it. That should be enough to sign Zucker. But a 30-goal scorer, it's a pricey option. And let me know what you guys think he's going to get. What do you think the Wild are going to do from here? Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.